Welcome to Nugget 293 with Steve and Dana Groman, and today we will be taking you to another national park. It's called Sunset Crater Volcano National Monument. So, of course, we're back in the book, The Guide to the National Parks of the Southwest. This is one of the lesser-known parks, and it has a sister park, and we'll talk about that at the end of this nugget. Delicate pink puffs of seed heads on Apache plume stand out in the soft counterpoint to the stark black cinder and basalt landscape of Sunset Crater. This land of jagged rock and volcanic cones is one of the closest likenesses to the moon that we can see on Earth. In fact, Apollo astronauts came here to train in the 1960s to give them a good idea of their intended destination, and we went to the spot that is designated as an astronaut training ground. During the late 1960s and early 70s, the area behind this fence was used to train astronauts for the Apollo space program. Craters were blasted out with explosive and rocks brought in to simulate the surface of the moon. Here, astronauts learned to walk in spacesuits and use equipment to prepare for lunar missions. Similar areas were created in Texas and Florida, but no longer exist. This is the only remaining astronaut training area. Please help us protect this important part of American history. And this is not located in the national park area, but south of there, we parked near a dump and hiked about a half a mile to reach this spot. Back to this park. Sunset Crater Volcano stands out for other reasons. It is the youngest of some 600 cinder cones in the extensive San Francisco volcanic field of northern Arizona. Two major lava flows emerge from its base, the Bonita and Cana A flows. Sunset Crater also is invested with great archaeological significance. People were living in the vicinity when the volcano exploded, and the event undoubtedly exerted a profound effect on those witnesses. Sunset Crater was a Strombolian-type volcano, middle of the road in terms of strength and explosiveness. Earthquakes shook the countryside in advance of the eruption. Then molten rock of more than 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit fountained from a mile-long ground fissure. Great clouds of fine ash billowed skyward, and liquid lava flowed like rivers of superheated honey. Cinders rained down, 500 million tons of them, eventually accumulating into the smooth-sided cones that now swells 1,000 feet above the surrounding land. Scientists believe the eruption happened less than 1,000 years ago. From growth rings in trees used as beams in nearby Wupatki, Pueblo, the date of the initial eruption had been given as 1064 to 1065. Later research showed an uncharacteristically long life for the Sunset Volcano, with a series of eruptions taking place during 150 years. Geologists now think the eruption was over in a matter of weeks or months at most, and occurred sometime between 1040 and 1100. While the final word still may come on the actual timing of the eruption, the other big debate swirling around Sunset Crater was its effect on the people living nearby. I want to interrupt here. They don't know when this volcano went off, yet they will tell us about other volcanoes that are extinct or haven't gone off in any time frame that man can prove, and they can tell you a much more accurate time frame. But we do know that volcanoes do go off all the time. There was so much tremendous volcanic activity at the time of the flood, and as we described here, the events surrounding this one small volcano, can you imagine all of the fountains of the great deep opening up? A walk along the lava flow trail at the base of Sunset Crater permits a close look at the fascinating landforms created when hot rock emerges from deep inside the earth. The Bonita flow is a confusion of blocky, sharp-edged resulting when lava thickens as it cools. Slabs of sawtooth squeeze-ups rear up out of breaks in the ground. Beehive-shaped hornitos and ice-filled lava tubes can also be seen. The crater itself is 300 feet deep. Though visitors can no longer go to the top, the almost iridescent, rust-tinged cinders on the rim are fully visible from a distance, and we were fortunate enough to go to the top of the crater before the trail was closed to the public. The red cinders seem to be on fire, said Major John Wesley Powell when he saw it in 1885, and so named it Sunset Peak. We have heard of John Wesley Powell in several nuggets and when we have talked about the Grand Canyon. The Wupatki and Sunset Crater Volcano are national monuments, and they are typically visited at the same time. The ruins are impressive. After we toured the different pueblos, we drove out to the little Colorado River on the edge of the Navajo Indian Reservation. If you would like to go back and see more on the national parks that are lesser known, I want to invite you to go to watch Nugget 142 when we talked about the Black Canyon of the Gunnison in Colorado. In Nuggets 158 and and 159, we talked about the petrified forest in Arizona. In Nugget 164, we talked about Capulin Volcano in northeast New Mexico. In Nuggets 264, 265, and 266, we took you to the ever-popular Yellowstone and talked about the damage done by the flood that occurred here in 2022. In Nugget 271, we took you to Cedar Breaks. This is a gorgeous, lesser-known park where you can see bristlecone pines. In Nugget 273 and 274, we took you to see more bristlecone pines in Great Basin National Park in Nevada. We took you in Nuggets 283 and 284 to the fabulous Big Bend National Park in far west Texas. We want to encourage you to go to our YouTube channel and watch other Nuggets and Saturday travel and history tips. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to be alerted when we post new videos. If you appreciate our content, tell others and repost on your social platforms. Thank you.